The question to me was, how do you manage an emergency blood supply on Mars? Great question, and one that actually I hadn't thought about before. So what I did was I thought, why don't I use that reverse pitch framing that I used and I told you about a second ago to kind of dig into what I think some of the key issues would be. What are the key problems, the real problems when thinking about emergency blood management on Mars? So the core problem here, what's the core problem? So in my mind, the core problem here is that in a medical emergency on Mars, that could be trauma, that could be surgery, that could be radiation-induced injury, whatever it is, those astronauts might need a blood transfusion as part of their therapy. But Mars missions can't rely on Earth resupply, right? The supply chain is way too long, it's way too fragile, and it would take far too long in order to get the blood to someone. By the time you get it there, 9 months later, the emergency is already over. So that's the problem with taking or bringing blood from Earth for an emergency on Mars. But storing whole blood anywhere, including off Earth, has all kinds of logistical and biological and also shelf life limitations. So the core problem here, in my mind, is how do we ensure a safe, scalable, on-demand blood supply for a small crew, at least to begin with, in an off-Earth environment? Yeah, Doug says send the typo-negative astronauts first. Yeah, I was thinking about this when I was thinking about who our donors should be, and that gets us into all kinds of interesting nitty-gritty about crew selection, but that's a whole other issue.